WatchJRGO is the brand name of a man named John Ross. There have been numerous John Rosses throughout history, but when you hear that name, an automotive guru should always come to mind. For someone who has been riding motorcycles since the age of 5, having a deep affection for anything with a motor is unsurprising. He was able to pursue his YouTube dream after being fired from his high-paying job. It's no surprise that he's become one of YouTube's hottest automobile influencers. So what's his content like? Why exactly was he fired? And most importantly, who is he? And why should you keep an eye on him? John Ross is a YouTuber who stars on the channel WatchJRGO, which logically translates to Watch John Ross Go. The channel deals with everything that has to do with the automotive industry. We're talking about purchases, repairs, reviews, test runs, upgrades, and a bunch of other things on different kinds of cars, bikes, trucks, tractors, and even, wait for it, lawnmowers. He's amassed an army of subscribers that currently totals 329,000 and counting. His WatchJRGO channel, which he started in 2006, has about 1,000 videos uploaded and over 82 million views. That's an average of 82,000 views per post. Based on our estimates, the Kansas-based content creator is worth about $240,000 and spends most of his earnings on building his dream garage. Since he lost his job, most of his earnings come from YouTube, and he has his merch collection, the WatchJRGO Merch Collection, which earns him some extra bucks. Now, let's look at why John Ross was fired. John got fired from his IT job at LSI Corporation basically because of excess YouTubing. Not that they were against his content, they let him go because he no longer seemed interested in their work. LSI Corporation is a company that specializes in software that speeds up storage and networking in client computing, mobile networks, and data centers. They also design semiconductors. John revealed that he got the job because of his work experience as a software expert. The company let him go because he asked for too much time off and was starting to spend more time on creating content for his YouTube channel rather than working for the company. He did say that he wasn't upset about it because the job was taking up too much time and preventing him from doing what he loved, YouTubing about auto mechanics. He had a lot of plans for his YouTube channel, but the job wouldn't allow him to carry them through. Now, John freely uploads content for his viewers to feel the overall experience with anything that has an engine. He loves drag racing and trying out different cars with his longtime friend Amberghini. Amberghini is John's rumored ex-girlfriend. When the viewers noticed her continuous absence, it was assumed that the couple had split up. If you're a lover of bikes, sit tight and let's have a peek at some of the bikes in WatchJRGO's garage. There's the speedy Honda Ruckus that got the 205 GY6 swapped AirShock TrailTech Vapor, an LED light bar with a switchback LED strip for the rear. Performance Welding Solutions gave a helping hand in the customizing process of this bike. And you know it's got luxury written all over it when it's painted in an OEM Lamborghini color. $3,000 and you can get one of these. The Honda Grom might not be suitable for a long road trip on the highway, but if we're talking about dirt racing, then you can count her in. John has counted on her several times for races. The liquid-cooled single overhead camshaft engine makes it affordable for purchase at around $3,500. The engine also has a mod that upgrades the engine to a 300 cubic capacity. John is a huge fan of the Honda brand, and one of his favorite vehicles in his garage is the Honda Fury. This bike has a 5-speed transmission, a 3.6-inch trail, and a 1,312 cubic capacity. Regardless of its features, the bike weighs only 300 kilograms. You can add this WatchJRGO beauty to your collection for only $10,600. He doesn't call the Honda Fury his most trustworthy steed for nothing. The 21-inch front wheel is complemented sweetly by the tank that diminishes gradually to create a fluid look. The force of the wind will not make your face look funny as you ride because the Honda Fury got the OEM Honda Boulevard windscreen installed. The manufacturers of this handy machine had your phone's well-being in mind when they integrated USB charging for your phone in long rides. The Senna 10C helmet camera can also be powered up on the ride. Lastly, we must not forget to mention the OEM Meltzer tires that are still good as new. The pearl white Ducati 1198 replaced the Ducati 110 SES in John's collection because the 1198 packs better features. The 1198 name is inspired by the 1,198 cubic capacity engine. The engine is also a 90-degree L-twin and liquid-cooled Desmodromic 4-valve engine. The bike has a 6-speed constant mesh sequential manual transmission with a dry multi-plate clutch. WatchJRGO calls this one his bike of choice, and we can see why. 170 horsepower and simple hydraulic brakes make the road feel comfortable for the rider. John Ross's Ducati 1198 has some mods to it, which includes the Dunlop Q3 tires, the full Terminigomi undertail exhaust, a Speedy Moto open clutch basket, and TST Industries integrated LED taillight. It costs about $16,500 to purchase one of them. Let's take a look at the vehicles at WatchJRGO's garage. Take a look at some of his most expensive cars/trucks. The 2014 Nissan GTR R35 is valued at $60,000 by WatchJRGO. It's typically valued at around $100,000, but John seemed to be feeling generous. The 6-speed twin-clutch auto transmission gives you even more reason to get one of these in your garage. The super-fast 2011 Ariel Atom is also appraised at $60,000 by WatchJRGO because its 600 horsepower engine can be upgraded to a mind-blowing 900 horsepower. It has the potential to be the fastest car on the planet. The 2004 Corvette Z06 is also worth $60,000 according to John. It has a built manual transmission, original wheels, an MGW shifter, and many other specifications that make it almost impossible to take your eyes off. The 2018 Ford F-250 Platinum, owned by WatchJRGO, is valued at $70,000. Everything is there except the clearance light, which John clearly doesn't care about. There's the Escort IXCI, custom-installed radar detector with all the laser shifters and the grille, and John's got so much love for this one. I mean, with 385 horsepower and a 16-valve V8-cylinder engine, it's impossible not to love this beast. John describes it as the ultimate truck. The price of a newly tuned 2008 Audi R8 has risen to $90,000. An all-wheel drive sports car powered by a 420 horsepower 4.2-liter V8 engine gives you one of the best car experiences at quite a decent price if you ask me. Its lightweight aluminum body makes it weigh just about 3,400 pounds, with the engine fixed just behind the front wheels. For aesthetics, a glass engine cover displays the engine at night, so a bird's eye view would leave you in awe. The 1967 Chevy Camaro is rightfully the second most expensive car in WatchJRGO's fleet, since it is one of the rarest cars in the collection. It was built for the 2020 LS Fest. The engine contains ICT billet brackets, the sniper intake, the sniper throttle body, and so on. Down to the most extreme vehicle in WatchJRGO's fleet, we have the Ford 1965 F100. It's an extremely rare truck that in fact belonged to his grandpa. Ford's twin I-beam independent front suspension was introduced with this classic, and we see why John values it at a jaw-dropping $1 million. It weighs about 2,268 kilos, and you know this dinosaur would make quite the impression in your collection. John also has cars like the 2021 Can-Am Maverick, the Chevy S10 Extreme, the 1994 Camaro Z28, and other cool cars and trucks. Hey, if you work hard enough, you could have a sweet collection that could rival John Ross's. That's practically all you need to know about WatchJRGO for now. You can learn more about him by subscribing to his channel, or you can visit his website at watchjrgo.com. You can also follow him on Facebook at JRGO and of course Instagram at WatchJRGO. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, VIP Buzz, to learn more about your favorite people. And if you enjoyed this video on WatchJRGO, then you should check out the next video on the Stradman.